Hello.
Hi.
I have great news.
Excuse me, everyone.
Sax.
Now that I have your attention,
My collection of short stories called Lunacy At First Eyeing is now available. Now I have a whole bunch of short stories, collections, screenplays, novelettes, novellas. I think even one novel somewhere. So the thing with me with an overactive imagination, which I've always had, it could be borderline ADHD on top of many things, but ever since I was a kid, even playing with toys, I would act out scenarios.
They're Andy's mom's toys. Woody, Rexy, Juicy, Mr. Pleasurehead, and Buzz 5 Gear.
Oh, you're just like me.
Scenes, and I think in a cinematic way, like the most absurd things, and I try to ground them so that way they're digestible and they make sense. Like they're not just nonsensical madness. It makes sense. So I pull a lot from nostalgic cartoons, even from the old cartoons from like the 20s. Cheesy 80s horror movies, and just masterpieces like the modern horror, what modern horror has become, with so many great films just spawning forth structurally sound and great creativity. So I wanted to read a passage. I know, a passage. This guy. Snoozeville, am I right?
Open your eyes.
But I wanted to read a passage because it is on sale. It is, I think it's 15 or 16 short stories. They're the ones that I haven't released yet, because I do release a lot of flash fiction individually. So since this is a collection, it's for $4.99. So I will read the first story here. Lunacy at First Eyeing by Joshua Whitney. I became insane with long intervals of horrible sanity. Edgar Allan Poe. A collection of short tales where reoccurring insanity keeps me from continuing sanity. We all fall from its grace from time to time, but we submerge within the falsity that is assimilation of godless waters to later ascend in truly unleashed vengeance. I know I'm interrupting the reading, but I put there right underneath Poe's quote is something from my maddened mind birthing forth words, but it's the thesis. It's a thesis for this entirety of body of work. The entirety of this body of work. You will see why. If anyone reading story to story to story, front to back, you'll automatically come back to the circular loop that is this quote for this story. All right, I am ranting and sounding like a silly boy. Here we go. So the first tale is The Ones Submerged by Joshua Whitney. We have to stand up for each other, even if it's crying together. It means we are not alone. The splash. Casting shadow a foot downward, heaving metal chest plate onward, as waves crashed, spraying upward. The night to water wasn't much longer. The sword fully grasped as ocean remotely splashed. If divine gates had guards, he was the outcast. Sins of faded blood on hands, oh how they last. A fool's fairy tale to cruel reality amassed. Children and women receiving its unreal lash, the shore's sand like a falling boulder to his feet, the same to his goal. The same to past moral defeat. Upon sight of song, human torso, scales on tail, wings flapping wrong. It disrobed him of his armor as it drew him nearer, blade all but gone. Cries of babes and women slaughtered intertwined with his, wine sounding watered. He knew this was no salvation, and yet his feet tottered. Blood arose in the siren's eyes, pooling the grand waters. Crimson sang as the dead swam. You see, man of arms? We sound the same alarms. Thane opened his mouth and screamed, so haunting. The women above shore's final breath became his, weeping. Victims welcomed him, decayed, rotten all, as he took to his final vocals, answering their call. Slashes of corpses to abdomen, same before their fall. Now seeing singing's face, the night recognized it, as she previously crawled. Begging, pleading, no more, this does not earn you heaven, before slice, tasting her own, salty ruby leaven. She sang as he and the lot melted, joining that which was inflicted, and upon it smelted. The siren's face, representing his fresh kill above, told this story from the start, eyes giving teardrop a shove. Witnessing violence against women from atop, the night was descending, the song she would pop. To join the blood of the crop, melting metal, then man, like the disrobing of others he sought. Divinity is one, and heaven is embracing. The harmony produced knew this. Through the waters engulfing her skin, freedom is had through melodic peace. We feel together and together at ease. She dove back into heaven for this chase, absorbing the absorbed, and at once she was serene. All right, so that is one half of that first tale. No. And the next one is a modernized version of that tale. Wait. And it's a different story altogether, but you'll notice how the structure and the scene plays out reminiscent to The Siren in the Night, but in a modern setting. I was happy with that because it just shows the continuation of violence against women and how we all share the same tears, and that, you know, it needs to come to a halt, it needs to stop, it needs to cease. It is not, that is the one story that rhymed. The rest aren't like that. You know, I like diversity in my writing and stories. Hi, baby. So, yeah. So, if you guys are interested, Lunacy at First Eyeing is now available. As always, you guys are awesome, and have a great day.
This sucks, and it's horseshit. But I'm too polite to say anything, because I'm a class act.